Hello. I come to you comfity wumpity, Halloween jammies, on to do another crochet and chat with me. If you're a fellow person who does crafts that are really bad for your wrists and arms, make sure to wear these. You should also probably wear hand compression things, but I don't. If this is your first time seeing me in my bed, why did I say it like that? If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Kokiri, and I'm gonna do a little chit-chatty crochet video. I'm currently working on a pillowcase based off of this graph. And it's gonna go on this very boring pillow here because I have these very cute pillowcases and then I only have 2 of them, but I have 3 pillows. I don't need to explain myself to you. I'm making a pillowcase. Also, I'm constantly like, oh my god, my hair is still so yellow. Girl, that is white. Sometimes when you look at yourself in the mirror for too long, you like think you look one way, and then when you see yourself in like a camera or like out in a store in like a mirror that isn't your mirror, you realize like, oh, that's what I look like. And that's what just happened to me. That's looking ethereal as fuck. Let's fucking go. Anyway, crochet time. I think I'm about a third done. My bobbins are don't talk to me about my bobbins. I know they're a mess. Honestly, this is a lot less bad than usual. Before I chit chat about anything, thank you for 2,000 subscribers. I didn't expect to gain subscribers so fast, and I'm really grateful, and y'all have been so nice and supportive, so I really want to say thank you. Speaking of y'all, a frequently requested video being the video where I show you how to crochet without a pattern. I just started filming that. I literally filmed like the intro section where I talk about the different methods. Literally just finished filming that. So it is coming soon. I just have to film the like demo sections. Also for the video, I'm literally crocheting a piece from like start to finish where I design it and then I'm going to film the process of crocheting the entire thing. Which might be a mistake, but I do think it'll be a good way to demonstrate how I get stuff made. Why can't I talk? Here's the thing about me is I don't talk that much in my real life. Like I go from like yapping a lot to like needing to just not talk for like 12 hours. I actually don't talk that much to the point that if I go out and do something that requires me to talk to people for a while, like hang out with friends or like a doctor's appointment or something about talking to other people gives me a sore throat. And I'm not getting like sick in the way that like I'm catching a cold while I'm out or anything, because it'll literally be completely gone the next day. And when I get flus or like any type of cold, I'm sick for like minimum 2 weeks. So honestly, choosing to do chatty YouTube videos is kind of ironic. So if it seems like I can't talk very well right now or I'm stumbling over my words, it's because I just filmed a video. So I be talking a lot more than I usually talk. I also had a bunch of things I specifically wanted to talk about. So I made notes. First thing, I got a new tattoo. It's hard to see from there and it's also all like scabby and kind of gross and in the like crusty stage. So I'll insert a photo. I got a little bunny tattoo. He's a little bunny who has a 4-leaf clover and has a little missing leg. And basically it's supposed to be like luck themed and kind of how luck is about perspective, because like obviously a rabbit's foot is seen as like a symbol of luck. But how lucky could it possibly be if the rabbit is missing a foot? So I thought it would be nice to have a tattoo of a rabbit who's missing his foot, kind of like the lucky rabbit's foot thing. But then he has a 4-leaf clover because he's gonna make his own luck, and it's about perspective and nothing's gonna get him down. I thought it was very cute. And the artist did such a lovely job. I'll include their Instagram handle on the screen, but they were so awesome and I'm so happy with how he turned out. I've been planning that tattoo since late 2023, so I'm very pleased to finally have it done. Speaking of years existing, Happy New Year. My year is going okay so far. I mean, it's only like, I think it's January 18th when I'm filming this. So lots of room for things to go wrong. I'm also like really low on the like Japanese luck calendar. I'm like 300th and something. So definitely a good time to get a luck themed tattoo because I'm clearly going to need extra luck this year. But so far it's going pretty good, and part of that is just I'm having fun making YouTube videos and I really appreciate all the support and love I'm getting on here. I mean, getting a tattoo is a pretty good way to start a new year. Literally, I was in an appointment with my therapist and she was talking about focusing on the things you can control and stuff like that. And I was like controlling how I look by getting a tattoo. And she was like, yeah, actually. I was like, I was joking. And she's like, no, that's a totally valid way to like focus on the way you look. And I was just like, okay, so I've been diagnosed with needs a little tattoo and prescribed to get a little tattoo. So that was definitely the extra push I needed to actually book the appointment. It was her professional opinion that I should get a tattoo. Also, speaking of therapy, I've been doing EMDR. If you don't know what EMDR is, it's basically like a way of, I have a nightmare bobbin. If you're not familiar with EMDR, it's basically like a way of reprocessing trauma, and I'm not gonna go into the trauma part in a YouTube video, but don't take what I'm saying as like an actual medical anything. I'm just talking about my experience. Basically, like, it activates a part of your brain that, like, something to do with when you process trauma, like your eyes go back and forth and like it activates two different sides of your body, something like that. It sounds like nonsense. It sounds like absolute fucking pseudoscience bullshit. And I just finished my first round of EMDR and it works. Weirdly, it works. And I really had no faith it would work, but it worked. It's a very exhausting process and it's very like time intensive. Literally, when I was done my last appointment where we did something called installation, which is basically like the last thing you do to make sure that it works. I don't know. Again, I'm not a doctor. It felt like the last episode of Neon Genesis Evangelion where like everyone is standing around Shinji just like, omedetou! Because I was like, wow, I'm seeing the effects of this. Like, from where I started when I first started doing EMDR to like the last session, my mind frame was just totally different. Basically, there's a couple different types of EMDR, but the one that I did was basically that there's a light in front of me that I have to follow with my eyes and I have to focus on a certain thing and it goes back and forth like this. And you have to watch the light while thinking of the thing, which again, sounds really stupid and like it's just nonsense. But like my nightmares are less bad. And like I have less anxiety overall. It's very strange that it works, but I'm very grateful it does. Other stuff I've been up to lately is obviously been watching more horror movies. I'm gonna do some rapid fire reviews of some horror movies I've watched recently. Saw. What was the point of those two guys being in the bathroom for that long if they weren't gonna kiss? Infinity Pool. Super interesting concept. Really big letdown. Antiviral. Super interesting concept. Way better than I was expecting it to be. Infinity Pool and Antiviral are both directed by the same person, Brandon Cronenberg, who is David Cronenberg's son. And I've been wanting to watch Antiviral forever because the trailer seemed really cool. And I pretty much only watched Infinity Pool because it kept auto-playing on like Hulu. Antiviral, very good. Infinity Pool, one of the worst horror movies I've watched recently. However, I've heard Possessor, which is also a Brandon Cronenberg movie, is his best movie. So I'm very much looking forward to that one. Dinner in America. I started off not really liking this movie and thinking, I don't think I like Dinner in America. And then by the end, I was like, I'm starting to like Dinner in America. So freaking cute. I understand why TikTok is obsessed with this movie. It's so cute. It's kind of similar to Dinner in America. I'm gonna combine my review for these two movies into just one review. Excision and May. I love weird girls. I feel like Excision is like severely underrated. You can throw Ginger Snaps in there too. That also kind of falls into the like, I love weird girls category. I've heard a lot of hype about May, but I've heard basically no one talk about Excision. I adored that movie. Out of all the movies I've watched in the past like year, that's probably the one I've thought about the most. If you want to watch a horror movie that's sort of about a teenage girl who doesn't fit in, sort of about a mother-daughter relationship, and also sort of about surgery, I recommend checking it out. I really loved it. Also not horror, but I've watched both The Good Place and Ted Lasso recently. And if you want to watch shows with just the cutest characters, like just the like most unrealistic, but like in a good way where they're just so lovable kind of characters, I highly recommend both those shows. Ted Lasso is about soccer, and don't let that turn you off from it. I didn't want to watch it initially because it's about soccer and I couldn't care less about sports, but it is adorable. And if you find yourself by the second season screaming at the TV, why isn't anyone gay? They're gay eventually, don't worry about it. I've also watched Yellow Jackets, and I watched Yellow Jackets alone, and then what always happens when I watch stuff alone happened. I watched it and then was like, damn it, I need to talk to my husband about this. So then I had to rewatch it with my husband, and we watched Yellow Jackets right after watching Ted Lasso. And I had to be like, I don't know how to prepare you for how not similar these two soccer shows are. Because Yellow Jackets is about soccer players, but like it's not really. I would describe it kind of as a combination between Lord of the Flies and Pretty Little Liars. It's like what happens when you're stranded in the wilderness and you're also kind of catty and kind of petty because you're a teenage girl. I've been posting shorts about like fashion stuff because if you don't follow me anywhere else, I do a lot of like fashion and cosplay content in addition to like creative crochet type content. And because I just like had the backlog of content, I was like, I'll post some of my fashion stuff on Reels. And people have been so nice. So I might incorporate some fashion content into this YouTube channel as well. I also do a lot of like thrifting and antique shopping. So I think it would be fun to do content around that too. I really like Kathleen Illustrated's content where she goes and like you're on FaceTime with her while she's thrifting. I think that kind of content is very chill. So I would very much like to try something similar. I also really want to do a video where I style everything I've crocheted because I feel like a common problem with people who crochet is that we make stuff and then straight up never wear it. And I'm definitely guilty of that, partially because I did not carry this yarn for like 5 stitches. That's probably fine. I crochet stuff and then I get really paranoid that I'm gonna like ruin it if I take it out, even though I know it's like structurally sound. I actually do a stress test of like, you're probably not supposed to do this, so don't take my advice. But I throw pretty much everything I make into the washing machine just to make sure it doesn't fall apart. And nothing has. So I don't know why I'm worried it's gonna fall apart when I step foot outside the house. But also I have this like thing where I think I have to save clothes for special occasions, which is so stupid because I have so much cool clothing and I keep not wearing my favorites because I'm like, what if I wear it and this isn't the occasion that I'm supposed to wear it, and then I wore it on the wrong day, which makes no sense. So I think something that might help me get out of that is doing styling videos because I'm like, great, I've made a bunch of outfits for funsies. And also now I don't have to think about it when I wear it out. I have too much clothing. Regardless, I would love to do styling content. This bobbin is going to be the end of me. I'd love to do styling content and fashion content and thrifting content. And I think incorporating crochet into the first like fashion-y video I do would be, first of all, a good way to actually put on the clothing I make, but also just a good way to like merge 2 different types of content I want to make. If y'all have any other ideas of stuff you want me to make in terms of content, let me know. I also just do a lot of creative stuff and like I don't really have like a niche. I do a little bit of everything and I find it really hard to like stay in one box and create just one type of content. For example, I do my nails. I learned how to do my own press-ons and I don't think anyone wants to see content about this, but it's a thing I do. It's like an entire skill I've developed that like I could technically do content of, but I don't know. Speaking of, I'm learning how to use Fruity Loops. If you don't know what Fruity Loops is, it's basically like a music software thing. Also, I just noticed that my phone is dying, so this will function as my outro music because I'm going to show you this stupid song I made on Fruity Loops. I don't really have any intention of like actually producing real music, but I do find the idea really fun. I want to unleash my inner Toby Fox. So I thought for funsies, it would be kind of cool to just mess around and make music. Do you want to hear my funky beat? This is the first thing I've ever made in Fruity Loops, so you're not allowed to make fun of me. But the inspiration is that you're in a funky, creepy castle in a Game Boy Advance or NES game. That's it, that's the whole song. So yeah, I'm gonna go throw this into a fire. It was so nice talking to you. I hope you have a good day. If you like crochet content or just hanging out, subscribe. Thank you again for 2,000 subscribers. I very much appreciate it. Bye.